But in terms of this Montecito move, the Royal News Network pointing out, even if Taylor and Travis move to Montecito, they still won't give Harry and Meghan the time of day. And Harry and Meghan spare arguing, please don't insult Taylor and Travis by associating them in any way with the two grifters. Thank you. But it comes as the salty Duchess has just managed to get a new word into the Urban Dictionary. And this word, I think, could sum up quite a lot of what the Sussexes are currently going through. Unsussexful.
Welcome back to Sussex Unmasked, everyone. If you have had your fill of the relentless Hollywood grift, the manufactured drama, and the sheer unadulterated hypocrisy pouring out of Southern California, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and drop a comment down below. You're in the right place because here at Sussex Unmasked, we do not do PR spin, and we certainly do not bow down to the self-appointed King and Queen of Montecito. Now let us talk about the magnificent collapse of the great Californian dream. Back in 2020, when Prince Harry and Meghan Markle fled the United Kingdom, they pitched Montecito as their ultimate victory lap. It was supposed to be the fortress of their new global empire. They bought that massive 18,000 square foot chateau for $14.7 million, complete with 16 bathrooms, private olive groves, and a $9.5 million mortgage to match. They told the world this was where they would prove they could conquer America, build a billion-dollar brand, and show the British monarchy how irrelevant a 1,000-year-old institution really was. Well, look where we are in 2026. The victory lap has turned into an absolute slow-motion financial car crash. Rumours are spreading through every luxury real estate circle in California that the Sussexes are quietly, desperately trying to hawk that Montecito mansion. We are talking about a pocket listing, an off-market whisper campaign, because their fragile egos cannot handle the public humiliation of putting a giant for sale sign on the front lawn. They simply cannot afford to maintain that property anymore. When you are burning through millions of dollars a year on private security, legal bills, public relations managers, and gardening staff, while your commercial deals are drying up like puddles in the Mojave Desert, something has to give. And just when you think the timing could not get any more embarrassing, for Meghan Markle, the universe delivers the ultimate punchline. Because right as Harry and Meghan are trying to sneak out the back door of Montecito, the most powerful, ultra-wealthy, culturally dominant couple on planet Earth, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are reportedly house hunting in that exact same neighbourhood. Think about the sheer delicious irony of this situation. Meghan spent 6 long years trying to turn Montecito into her private royal court, name-dropping celebrity neighbours and pretending to run high society. And now an actual billionaire superstar with genuine talent and global respect is looking at real estate down the road, completely shifting the power dynamic of the entire enclave. Taylor Swift does not need a borrowed title or a manufactured documentary to command respect. She walks into any room as the main event. Meghan has spent years trying to pull Taylor into her social circle, only to be met with icy silence and shut doors. But before Meghan packs up her designer luggage, she had to try one last painfully transparent PR stunt to make that mansion look desirable. Wait until you see how she used a national real estate website to try to stage an open house under the guise of a birthday party. When you examine how the Sussex publicity machine operates, there is always a very obvious tell. They think they are being remarkably clever. But anyone who has spent 10 minutes observing Hollywood PR can see the strings being pulled from a mile away. Case in point, Meghan Markle's 45th birthday. Normally an A-list celebrity, celebrating a milestone birthday, shares a glamorous portrait, or maybe a high-profile fashion magazine covers the party, or perhaps they keep it entirely private with close friends. But where did the exclusive breakdown of Meghan's 45th birthday celebration appear? It popped up on Realtor.com. Let that sink in for a second. Why on earth would an entertainment story about a private pajama party be pitched to and published by a commercial real estate listing website? The headline was utterly shameless. It detailed how Meghan started her 45th birthday with an intimate gathering around the kitchen of her $14.7 million Montecito estate. The article went out of its way to describe the newly updated kitchen, the high-end finishes, the spacious layout, and the warm, inviting atmosphere of the home. You do not pitch that kind of specific interior detail to a property website unless you are actively staging that house for prospective buyers. It was a textbook covert marketing pitch designed to signal to luxury property brokers that the estate is fresh, modernised, and ready for a new owner with deep pockets. It is the kind of transparent manoeuvring that perfectly captures what commentators are now calling the ultimate state of the Sussex brand. Completely and totally unsussexful, That is right. Unsussex, full. They cannot even throw a birthday party without turning it into a desperate commercial audition to offload an asset they can no longer afford. The reality behind the wrought iron gates of that Montecito compound is far from the paradise they projected in their glossy Netflix series. When they first purchased the property in the summer of 2020, they took on a massive $9.5 million mortgage with annual payments exceeding $500,000, before you even factor in property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. In the beginning, when the $100 million Netflix deal was fresh, and Spotify had just handed them $20 million, that burn rate seemed manageable. But 6 years later, the income streams have cratered. Spotify cancelled their partnership with their top executive, calling them grifters on a global platform. Netflix tore up their retail merchandising agreement for Meghan's lifestyle brand. After realizing her products had zero commercial viability, the multi-million-dollar speaking fees have vanished. And yet the operational costs of maintaining an estate of that scale never decrease. You have got a private security team running 24 hours a day, groundskeepers managing acres of manicured gardens, private utilities, pool, maintenance, and household staff. It is a relentless financial drain. So instead of admitting defeat and listing the property publicly on the multiple listing service, where every real estate blog in the world could track price cuts and days on market, Meghan resorted to a whisper listing. You leak descriptions of the renovated kitchen to property outlets. You let high-end realtors know, quietly, that viewings can be arranged for pre-qualified billionaires. And you pray someone takes the financial albatross off your hands before the bank steps in. And that is why the news of Taylor Swift looking at properties in Montecito is such a devastating psychological blow to Meghan. Because while Meghan is being forced out by basic financial reality, Taylor is arriving with unlimited capital and zero need for PR games. Let us look at why Taylor and Travis are actually eyeing Montecito, and why their arrival completely obliterates Meghan's social standing in the area. To understand why the arrival of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is such an absolute nightmare for Meghan Markle, you have to look at the massive gulf in wealth status and genuine cultural influence between these two couples. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce tied the knot on July 3rd, 2026, in what was undeniably one of the biggest celebrity weddings of the decade. Now, as newlyweds in their mid-30s, they are actively looking to establish a permanent family base. Taylor is sitting on a personal net worth that comfortably exceeds $1.6 billion, alongside an existing real estate portfolio worth over $150 million across New York, Nashville, Rhode Island, and Los Angeles. When Taylor and Travis go house hunting, they are not looking for a temporary crash pad or a property to leverage for a commercial partnership. They are looking for a secure private sanctuary where they can raise children, surrounded by top-tier private schools, exceptional community, infrastructure, and absolute security. Montecito fits that bill perfectly. It is one of the most exclusive enclaves in the United States, nestled between the Santa Ynez Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. It is home to genuine billionaires, tech titans, and entertainment legends like Oprah Winfrey. Security is omnipresent. If it is not your private security patrol, cruising the lanes, it is your neighbours. The crime rate is virtually non-existent. The estates are hidden behind massive private gates, and the entire culture of the town is built around quiet discretion. Taylor is already very familiar with the area. When her close friend Selena Gomez married Benny Blanco, Taylor stayed at the ultra-luxurious Rosewood Miramar Beach Resort right in Montecito. She experienced firsthand the privacy and peace that the enclave provides to people who operate at the very highest levels of global fame. Now look at the brutal contrast between Taylor entering Montecito and Meghan living there. Meghan moved to Montecito with an enormous chip on her shoulder, desperate to prove that she was the biggest star in the zip code. She paraded around town with paparazzi on speed dial, orchestrated staged parking lot walks, and tried to establish herself as the reigning matriarch of California celebrity royalty. But true wealth and real power do not behave like that. Taylor Swift does not need to call the paparazzi to prove she exists. She spends millions of dollars ensuring that photographers never know where she is. If Taylor and Travis purchase an estate in Montecito, they instantly become the undisputed center of gravity for the entire community. Every local business, every charity board, and every high society gathering will bend over backward to accommodate them. Meghan, meanwhile, will be reduced to a footnote, an exhausted former royal trying to sell jam from a house that is quietly on the market. There will be no cozy neighbourly dinners. There will be no shared barbecues in the backyard. There will be no casual playdates between families. Taylor Swift operates in an entirely different stratosphere, and she has already made her feelings about Meghan Markle crystal clear in the past. because before Taylor ever considered buying a home in Montecito, Meghan tried desperately to recruit her into her commercial empire. And the way Taylor shut down that attempt was nothing short of legendary. You have to remember that. Back in 2022, Meghan Markle genuinely believed she was holding all the cards in the entertainment industry. She had secured that massive $20 million podcast deal with Spotify to produce Archetypes, a show designed to dissect the labels that supposedly hold women back. Spotify was pouring enormous resources into the production, rolling out massive billboard campaigns in Times Square, and Meghan had access to top-tier Hollywood talent. She managed to book major names for the early episodes: Serena Williams, Mariah Carey, Paris Hilton, and Mindy Kaling. These were accomplished, recognizable women who agreed to sit down and chat. But for Meghan, that was not enough. She wanted the ultimate prize. She wanted the most influential, culturally powerful female artist on the planet. She wanted Taylor Swift. Now, when a major podcast host wants to book a superstar of that caliber, standard industry protocol is for your executive producers to reach out to the artist's management team, present the concept, check the tour schedule, and handle the logistics professionally. But Meghan, believing her royal status gave her unmatched personal leverage, decided to bypass the standard channels. She sat down and wrote a personal handwritten letter directly to Taylor Swift. In the world of celebrity networking, a handwritten missive from a royal duchess is supposed to be the ultimate irresistible gesture. It is designed to say, "I see you as an equal. I respect your artistry. And this is a personal sisterhood connection between two powerful women." Meghan thought there was no way on earth Taylor could possibly decline a personal invitation delivered with that level of royal charm. Taylor Swift's response was an absolute masterclass in cold professional rejection. Taylor did not write a polite letter back. She did not hop on a quick phone call to express her regrets. She did not suggest rescheduling for a future season. Taylor had her representative issue a brief, flat, formal decline to Meghan's production team. That is the ultimate Hollywood shutdown. Having your publicist decline a personal handwritten royal letter is the industry equivalent of leaving someone on read in front of a stadium full of people. It signalled that Taylor did not view Meghan as a peer, did not view the podcast as a credible platform, and had zero interest in lending her colossal personal brand to Meghan's vanity project. And if you understand Taylor Swift as a person, her refusal makes complete sense. Taylor is fiercely, unapologetically protective of her family. Her parents, Scott and Andrea Swift, along with her brother Austin, form the rock-solid foundation of her entire life and career. She has built an empire based on loyalty, trust, and keeping her inner circle tight and impenetrable. When Taylor looked at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, what did she see? She saw two people who had turned on their own families, betrayed their blood relatives on global television, with Oprah Winfrey sold out private family conversations for streaming checks, and attacked an ailing Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. For someone who values family loyalty above all else, the Sussexes represent everything that is toxic and untrustworthy in modern celebrity culture. Taylor wanted absolutely nothing to do with them, and yet Meghan refused to take the hint. What happened next at the SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles proved that Meghan's desperation to latch onto Taylor Swift knew no bounds. Fast forward to August of 2023. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour had become a historic global phenomenon, breaking every financial record in music history and dominating headlines worldwide. When the tour arrived in Southern California for a 6-night residency at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, it became the undisputed social event of the year. Every A-list celebrity in Hollywood attended. Royalty, Oscar winners, tech billionaires, and pop icons were trading friendship bracelets in the VIP tents. Meghan Markle, of course, was in attendance. She made sure the media knew she was there enjoying the music and singing along to the hits among 70,000 screaming fans. But attending the concert as a spectator was never Meghan's primary objective. Reports quickly emerged from industry insiders that Meghan's team had made aggressive behind-the-scenes attempts to secure exclusive VIP backstage access to meet Taylor Swift personally after the show. Meghan wanted that golden photograph. She wanted the backstage selfie with Taylor that would be blasted across every social media platform and entertainment website on Earth, instantly establishing a public friendship and validating her standing in the upper echelons of pop culture. The request was met with an immediate icy roadblock. Taylor's team rebuffed the approach, passing along the convenient explanation that Taylor was on strict vocal rest before and after her physically demanding 3-hour performances and was not hosting backstage guests. Now, vocal rest is a very real standard medical practice for touring vocalists. But anyone who followed that tour closely knows that when there were genuine friends, royal dignitaries, or high-level VIPs, Taylor actually wanted to see the dressing room doors opened wide. Meghan was simply not on that list. The backstage door remained firmly permanently shut. Look at what Meghan did next. Because her immediate reaction tells you everything about her psychological need for validation. Barely 48 hours after being shut out by Taylor Swift, Meghan scrambled to secure tickets and VIP positioning for Beyoncé's Renaissance World Tour at the same stadium. She showed up with Harry, her mother, Doria Ragland, and celebrity friends, making sure photographers captured her dancing in the private box and eventually managing to get a photo op near Beyoncé's circle. It was pure reactive damage control. She needed to prove to the world that she was still connected to mega celebrities trying desperately to erase the sting of the Taylor Swift rejection. And while Meghan was busy collecting rejections and orchestrating desperate concert appearances in California, Prince William was showing the entire world what a genuine, effortless royal relationship with Taylor Swift actually looks like. Because when Taylor Swift wants to spend time with royalty, she goes straight to the future King of England. If you want to see the difference between manufactured celebrity, PR, and authentic high-level connections, look at the timeline connecting Taylor Swift to Prince William and the British royal family. It is a relationship built on over a decade of mutual respect, completely free of commercial exploitation or awkward red carpet begging. The connection stretches all the way back to November of 2013. Prince William hosted a Winter Whites Gala at Kensington Palace in support of the youth homelessness charity Centrepoint. Taylor Swift was a guest of honour. During the evening's entertainment, rock legend Jon Bon Jovi took the stage to perform his iconic anthem, Livin' on a Prayer. In a moment that instantly became global pop culture history, Jon Bon Jovi called Prince William up to the stage. William, showing the easygoing confidence and humour that has made him so beloved, turned to Taylor Swift and together they stepped up to the microphone to belt out the chorus alongside Bon Jovi. It was spontaneous fun, unforced, and completely genuine. Nobody had to write a 20-page pitch deck. Nobody had to hire a PR team to spin it. The connection was established naturally between two individuals who understand the unique pressures of global visibility. Fast forward 11 years to June of 2024. Taylor Swift brought the Eras Tour to Wembley Stadium in London for a massive string of sold-out shows. Prince William celebrated his 42nd birthday by taking Prince George and Princess Charlotte to the concert. There was no begging for access. There were no polite excuses about vocal rest. After the show, William, George and Charlotte were welcomed directly into Taylor's private backstage lounge. Travis Kelce was right there beside her. The photographs that emerged from that meeting broke the internet. Taylor, taking a joyful grinning selfie with Prince William, George and Charlotte, with everyone looking completely relaxed, happy and comfortable. Travis Kelce later spoke on his podcast about how incredible Prince William was, praising his down-to-earth nature and how wonderfully polite and charming George and Charlotte were. And it did not end with a single concert photo. In May of 2026, just 2 months before their wedding, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce reportedly held a private confidential meeting with Prince William and Princess Catherine during a discreet visit to London. This was not a photo opportunity. It was a private gathering among friends. Now look at the sheer humiliation of that contrast for Meghan Markle. Meghan wrote personal letters, begged for podcast appearances, and tried to muscle her way backstage in Los Angeles, only to receive stone-cold rejections. Meanwhile, the brother-in-law she spent years attacking on Netflix and in memoirs is invited into Taylor's private inner sanctum, with his children, sharing private moments and building lifelong friendships. Taylor Swift has definitively chosen her royal team, and that team is the Prince and Princess of Wales. If Taylor moves to Montecito, she brings that royal allegiance right to Meghan's doorstep. And while Meghan faces social irrelevance in California, the financial walls inside her $14 million mansion are closing in faster than ever. Let us strip away the glamour, the celebrity gossip, and the glossy magazine profiles and look directly at the harsh mathematical reality of the Sussex household in 2026. A mansion, like their Montecito estate, is not just an asset. It is a financial monster that demands continuous massive injections of cash every single month simply to keep the lights on. When you break down their operational overhead, the numbers are absolutely terrifying for a couple whose primary income deals have collapsed. First, you have the mortgage on that $14.7 million purchase, which requires roughly $500,000 every single year in debt service alone. Then you add property taxes in the state of California, which easily exceed $150,000 annually. Homeowners insurance for a high-risk wildfire zone in Santa Barbara County runs into tens of thousands more. Then comes the biggest financial drain of all private security. Because Prince Harry lost his taxpayer-funded security protection from the British government, and subsequently lost his multi-million-dollar legal challenge against the Home Office, the Sussexes are entirely responsible for their own security costs, running a 24-hour armed top-tier private security team with armoured vehicles, advanced surveillance systems, and personal protection officers across North America. Cost between $3 and $5 million every single year. Add in private estate staff, landscape, maintenance for multiple acres, pool, upkeep, private school, tuition for Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, high-priced public relations firms on monthly retainers, and an army of corporate and tax lawyers. The Sussex household burns through an estimated $6 to $8 million a year just to maintain their baseline existence. Now compare that massive expenditure against their incoming revenue. In the early years, the cash flowed freely. They received massive upfront advances from their $100 million Netflix deal, their $20 million Spotify deal, and Harry's multi-million-dollar book advance for Spare. But those deals were one-time transactions, not sustainable recurring business operations. Today, Spotify has departed. Netflix has scaled back significantly, refusing to back Meghan's commercial retail products. Harry's public speaking market has completely evaporated. His speaking fee plunged from $1 million per appearance down to $50,000 in Australia, with organisers forced to discount tickets to prevent empty auditoriums. Meghan's attempts to monetize dinner appearances at $2,000 a seat look like pure financial desperation. Her lifestyle brand, as ever, produces endless promotional emails, but virtually no significant retail footprint. Their primary financial cushion. The inheritance left to Harry by Princess Diana and the Queen Mother has been severely depleted by 6 years of extravagant spending, private jet, travel, and disastrous legal battles in the High Court of London. The math no longer works. You cannot run an $8 million annual lifestyle on a $500,000 irregular income. The Montecito mansion is no longer a symbol of victory. It is a financial sinkhole threatening to drag them into personal bankruptcy. And that is why Prince Harry has started looking across the Atlantic Ocean, formulating a plan that changes everything. While Meghan Markle is trapped in California, trying to manage a failing lifestyle brand and offload an expensive mansion, Prince Harry has quietly begun executing a strategy that represents the ultimate admission of defeat. He is plotting his return to the United Kingdom. Over the past several months, reports from credible royal correspondents in London confirm that Harry is establishing a schedule to return to Britain on a regular, recurring basis every few months. We are not talking about flying in for a 24-hour emergency visit when a family member is ill, or rushing in for a courtroom appearance and immediately boarding a private jet back to Los Angeles. Harry is planning structured week-long stays in the UK every 2 to 3 months, making his presence a standard, predictable feature of British public life once again. Look at what happened during his recent private interactions with King Charles, when Harry met with his father. Palace insiders noted that Harry left the meeting feeling energised. That single word, energised, speaks volumes about Harry's true state of mind. In California, Harry is an unemployed, directionless former, royal playing video games in a sprawling mansion, while his wife tries to sell strawberry jam. He has no real role, no constitutional purpose, and no cultural weight in America. He is simply a novelty act whose novelty wore off 5 years ago. But the moment he steps foot on British soil, his entire psychological demeanour shifts. In Britain, Harry is the son of the king. He is the brother of the future king. He has deep, lifelong connections to prestigious charities that existed long before Meghan Markle entered his life. Organisations like Well Child, the Halo Trust, and his beloved Invictus Games, which will host a massive tournament in Birmingham, give him a platform of genuine dignity and purpose. Harry is discovering that the royal heritage he spent 6 years trashing in interviews and memoirs was never baggage he could casually throw away. It was the only thing that gave him true value in the eyes of the world. California was sold to him as ultimate freedom, but it turned out to be an isolating exile where he is entirely dependent on his wife's failing commercial schemes. By scheduling regular visits to the UK, Harry is attempting to reclaim the only identity that ever truly worked for him: the dutiful, charming, charitable British prince. And what makes this strategy so profoundly dangerous for Meghan is the way it is being structured. Harry is not asking for a grand palace announcement or a formal surrender. He is executing a slow-motion restoration that bypasses Meghan entirely. Let us analyse the brilliant, subtle mechanics of what royal insiders are calling the slow-motion restoration strategy. If Buckingham Palace were to release an official statement tomorrow morning announcing that Prince Harry was returning to full-time duties as a senior working royal, the public backlash in the United Kingdom would be instantaneous and ferocious. The British public has not forgotten the Oprah interview the attacks on the late Queen, or the cruel slanders directed at Princess Catherine while she was recovering from serious illness. A formal dramatic comeback would trigger political outrage and media condemnation. Harry and his advisors know this. That is why they are completely avoiding the formal route. They are not asking for a new royal title. They are not demanding a desk at Buckingham Palace. They are not asking to stand on the balcony at Trooping the Colour next month. Instead, they are normalising his physical presence in Britain through gradual repetitive steps. Step 1. Harry flies in for a Well Child Charity Award, gives an emotional, heartfelt speech, visits sick children in the hospital, and generates glowing, positive local headlines. Step 2. He spends a private, quiet evening, having tea with King Charles at Clarence House, proving that the father-son bond remains unbroken. Step 3. He visits Birmingham to inspect the venues for the upcoming Invictus Games, surrounded by cheering military veterans. Step 4. He flies back to California for a few weeks, only to return to London 2 months later to repeat the exact same cycle. When you repeat that pattern 5, 6, or 7 times over the course of 18 months, the media narrative completely transforms. The headlines stop referring to him as the exiled bitter prince attacking from California, and begin describing him as the dedicated prince who splits his time supporting British causes. Without ever signing a formal contract or making a dramatic announcement, Harry effectively resurrects the exact half-in, half-out royal model that Queen Elizabeth firmly rejected at the Sandringham Summit in 2020. He gets to enjoy the prestige, security, and purpose of royal life in Britain, while still maintaining his private residence in the United States. And here is the most telling, undeniable detail of this entire operation. Meghan Markle is completely, totally absent from the equation. Meghan is not joining him on these UK charity tours. She is not visiting British hospital wards. She is not having tea with King Charles. Meghan knows that her popularity in the United Kingdom is permanently underwater. She would face relentless booing the moment she stepped out of a vehicle in London. Harry is building an entirely independent British schedule, forging his own alliances and reconnecting with his homeland, completely separate from his wife. And that geographical and professional separation is setting the stage for the final, unavoidable collapse of the Sussex Empire. When you take a step back and examine the grand trajectory of this entire saga, the map tells a story of complete, undeniable divergence. 5,400 miles now separate the two opposing trajectories of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Look at Prince Harry. After 6 years of railing against the institution, filing disastrous lawsuits and burning family bridges, his compass is pointing decisively back toward London. He is returning to his roots, seeking redemption through traditional British charities, mending fences with his father, and trying desperately to reclaim the royal identity that gave his life structure, honour, and meaning. He has realised, perhaps too late, that outside the royal fold, he is simply a fish out of water, gasping for air. Now look at Meghan Markle. Her ambitions remain stubbornly, rigidly anchored in the superficial celebrity ecosystem of Southern California. She is clinging to the fantasy of becoming a multi-million-dollar lifestyle mogul, launching jam brands, hawking dog biscuits, and desperately curating an aesthetic of effortless California luxury. But the ground beneath her feet has completely vanished. Her Montecito mansion, the glorious monument to her post-royal victory, is being quietly shopped around luxury real estate networks because the bills cannot be paid. The A-list Hollywood elite she craved have closed their ranks against her. And to add the ultimate poetic justice to her downfall, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are moving into her neighbourhood as authentic, beloved global icons who hold private audiences with Prince William and Princess Catherine. Meghan Markle is being left completely isolated in the gilded cage she built for herself. The royal connection she used as personal leverage is slipping away as Harry spends more time in Britain, and the Hollywood acceptance she chased has turned into polite, distant avoidance. The great Montecito fairy tale has ended, not with a triumphant global takeover, but with a whisper listing, an empty kitchen, staged for real estate buyers, and two people moving in completely opposite directions. Taylor Swift gets the neighbourhood, Prince William gets the crown, and Meghan Markle is left with the unpaid bills of a revolution that failed. Thank you so much for joining us for this extensive deep dive on Sussex Unmasked. We want to hear your take on this. Do you think Taylor Swift moving to Montecito is the final nail in Meghan's Hollywood coffin? How long before Harry moves back to the UK permanently? Drop your comments below. Hit that like button. Share this video with your fellow royal watchers. And make sure you subscribe to Sussex Unmasked so you never miss a single update. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you all in the very next video.